We're here in California to drive the new Lexus IS sedan. Now Lexus has promised us a car that's faster, better handling, maybe even more dynamically proficient than a BMW 3 Series. The only problem is these are disguised prototypes. The car isn't shown to the public until the Detroit Motor Show in January and doesn't arrive in Australia until mid-year. So for the moment, we're not even allowed to see what they really look like.
The exact styling of Lexus's new rear-drive small sedan is going to remain a mystery for a while, but what's not in doubt is that its engineers are striving to make it more fun to drive than ever. The IS has been given a more rigid body that in places is literally glued together for extra strength. The suspension is a modified version from the larger GS model, and we're promised better steering, more grip, and what Lexus calls a tangible contact with the road surface, whatever that means. There's no doubt it's more agile than ever, and on this improvised racetrack it had heaps of grip, especially in the rear, steered accurately and felt more composed than its predecessor. It's also faster in a straight line thanks to new engines that include a 3.5 litre V6 in the IS250 that puts out around 230 kilowatts, and it's hooked up to an 8-speed auto. There's also a smaller V6 in the IS250, but in both cases, this new baby Lexus doesn't just go faster, it sounds better too.
Now these cars are virtually hand-built prototypes, so there's tape everywhere, the dashboard's covered, there's bits of plastic missing, so there's definitely not the luxury feeling you'd expect from a Lexus. But the steering is tauter, the front end feels nailed down better, and the engine noise, that's really good.
Underneath the disguise, you can tell the baby Lexus is bulked up a bit, but in all the right places. It's longer and a little wider than before, and 70mm has been added to the wheelbase, which has given around 90mm more legroom in the rear seat, and answered a major criticism of the current car, which is way too squeezy in the back. Out on the road, it's clear that despite being more agile, there's still plenty of Lexus refinement. The IS rides the bumps beautifully and is very quiet with little in the way of noise from the tyres. Of course, when you floor the throttle, you get to hear something good. And even on the twisting canyon roads outside Los Angeles, the car feels solidly planted on the road.
Well, it's always good to bring them back alive, especially when these prototypes are probably worth at least $500,000 each. And it seems like a really good car, even if, as the chief engineer says, these are probably about 90% of what the production version will be. But I suppose we'll find out in about 6 months' time when the IS arrives in Australia.